All right, so I'm Preston Hashagen.
I'm James Clifford.
And I'm Connor Mitchell.
And this is the Butt Fuck Podcast.
That's not the name, but oh, what a jokester. I fucking hate you.
What a jokester. All right, so
Funny guy he
juxtaposition.
is. What?
I don't know. So what's going on today with you, Connor?
Playing drums and
Hitting the skins?
hitting the skins.
Hitting the skins the other day. That's
Recording drums, recording podcasts.
down at Cerberus Studios, hitting the skins. He's a 1 and 4.
I hate how good you are at that.
Grabbing the sticks.
Down here hitting the stick.
I constantly give my dad shit when he's watching baseball. Whenever my dad watches baseball and I'm passing through the living room, and he's batting a good RBI percentage today. Because that's literally how it sounds every time he watches the fucking Mets.
Totally
It's the
100%.
quietest. It's like watching golf. It's so quiet.
I hate it. Do you know how many Yankee games I went to back in the day? Because I could just get in for free.
Yeah.
Can I just say
And I
how
never gave a
awesome
fuck.
this is already? I did not expect this. Just shit on one sport.
You
but
talk
this
about
is
too much. Don't ruin the fucking magic.
Don't ruin it. Dude, just hearing like, oh, he's batting the RBI. It's like 100% what I
As the
actually...
shortstop of the team, he plays a vital role on the field there. But I don't know if he's up to par for the task.
Dude, you got it so spot on. I fucking cannot believe it.
Everybody like tunes into it too. Like everybody's like everybody's leaning in like.
Can you roll your R some more?
I don't know if I can. It's a possibility.
I tell you, Tom.
The other guy's got to be a little deeper, maybe a little more serious. It's like,
Well,
I haven't seen this since '62. Well, trying to think back, I think of Mr. Martin from back in '62, and
Trying to think back.
You know what? Now that you think about it, that's a good point. But anyway, that's enough of me.
being me.
Yeah. Whew. You don't want too much of that. It gets old real fast. Especially when you got to do it.
Anyway, Jesus Christ, that took me to places. What I was saying about you, what you've been doing today is we've done at least 2 videos for you, right? So we have the video for your drum set and your cymbal set, and we also have the video for what the fuck else were we doing?
Well, you were working on quitting and stuff.
No.
We have another musical genre.
Oh yeah. That's what it is.
That
The hip hop
we
beat,
Yeah,
the rap beat.
Preston plays drums now, and now he's a rapper.
Yeah, things.
Thank you for attacking me
No,
immediately.
It's not a problem with it. It's just it's a little weird. Kind of came out of nowhere. Did you open another beer?
Yes, I did.
No, fuck you. All right, I'm
That-
sorry you guys had to hear that.
His house, his rules. I mean,
I bought so much beer for this man. He paid $2 for the pizza today. You all need to know this. I don't care. Now, This is on the record.
That's fine. My son ate a slice too.
Yeah, he fucking did.
dude, he'll pay you back when he's like what, 18?
He's gonna have to buy me a whole goddamn pie.
I'll pay him back never. That's why I plan on paying this motherfucker back.
So yeah, we recorded some drums today for some stuff, and it's gonna be great.
Fantastic, best drums you've ever heard.
Yeah,
I certainly hope so. I do think it is very interesting to record and mix something that's not the same as what you always do. So not doing something metal, especially considering the fact like you brought your entire kit. Can you just swipe your finger?
Stroke it.
There you go. Sorry, guys. I just didn't want my computer to fall asleep because it's a lazy bitch. And your Mapex kit sounds fucking awesome. I like the drum heads you have. I like the tom setup you have. I'm not used to playing it, but your setup is awesome. Your snare sounds great. And we switched up to Quentin's
Ludwig.
Yeah, Quentin's Ludwig.
Ludwig accent combo.
Oh, bright blue bastard.
Bright blue. I said the same one. I mean,
I know.
When we first got playing,
That's probably
He said-
why.
was your kit the same color?
They had the same kit.
Yeah,
we got the
because
same exact one.
Quentin said that you got the same color that he wanted because his favorite color was always blue, and he felt like he always gets weird like that. You know,
that's the thing, though. But that's what I'm gonna say.
You know what I mean?
Is he's always telling you, if you like these symbols, you can just get my symbols, and you're like, I want different ones. And he's like, but me and Connor, we buy the same stuff, and it's not a problem. Why don't you like my stuff?
No, because Quentin got the ZBTs, which you've never had, correct?
I had the ZBTs.
That's probably why he got them.
Drum kit, and I had the same symbol.
Exactly.
But you moved on, being in bands and such, and Quentin just kind of like stuck with what he was doing, which is fine. So Quentin, when you listen, it's cool. No one cares. It's fine. Your shit sounds good, and you're a great drum player. I'm just saying, it's weird to me that you don't try to constantly improve the tone. And maybe it's just because he's so, his tone probably works great for him. It's just I don't know, for me at least,
We're guitar
never
players
satisfied.
too. We always have that mindset. I feel like guitar players are the worst with that, I think, out of everyone.
I would definitely probably agree. Even though, because there's certain symbols I like, but if you got those symbols and you just don't break those symbols, you're good. And then once you get that drum kit, which most drum kits sound pretty good, especially once you change the heads.
And tune them up right properly.
Yeah. You got to tune them, get the right drum heads, but every kit could sound to your liking, mixed with cymbals. You get like the snare you want, you get like the
I was going to say
kicks you want, but you never, with a guitar, you can get the guitar you want, the amp you want, the pedals you want.
That's what I was going to say.
You're always like, maybe if I change the guitar.
I don't know if we talked about this on another.
String gauge.
I was going to say, I don't know if we talked about this on another podcast or just like in person in this basement. But it's like you can literally change the entire genre you might feel like playing just by holding a different guitar. And drums, there's definitely different things that people use more different genres, but I feel like it's not as...
Well, you
much
can
as
still
guitar,
play a beat.
Like not as much as
it's
guitar.
It's always fun to play a beat.
Like vibe wise, you get a completely different vibe. Like you could use that set, and I'm sure you could if you want to play in a punk band, you could use it. And as long as you were into that, you could tap into that.
It'd be a bit
same
heavy.
thing with the metal thing. Not like we're like I plug in a Telecaster. I'm not going to play the same shit I play if I plug in like one of my Ibanez's or like my Explorer.
Neck profile is different.
Makes you feel you get a different
Pickups
vibe. You get a different in my opinion, I get a different musical genre almost in my head, or at least variations.
Entirely,
yeah.
especially.
I can just tell you as a drummer, if I took that drum kit, I'm not like, oh well, this is my thrash setup. It's whatever you have is whatever you're going to use to make
you just
that
try
genre.
to be like, how do I like to do it and color it?
And even when you pick out the certain equipment, like the drum heads and stuff like that, I don't think guys are like, yeah, so I'm going for a more. There's guys, and we were talking before about a friend of ours who will just say, I need a new drum head, I got to put something on it. They're not like, well, I like the G2s, I might do the EC2s, and they're just like, hey,
dude,
put something on there.
They sound so different. I mean,
the EC2s and
well,
G2s.
before, just every drum head. I mean, before we did this podcast, I talked about last podcast, I think for a small section, was... When I got this drum kit, I wanted to replace the heads immediately. Before even getting the kit, I was like, I'm going to get EC2s. And then I got the kit, and it had EC2s, and so I just tuned it to my liking, and it's fucking awesome. I love the toms. I would not change them. I love your kit.
You'll hear it.
But there's...
you gotta listen to swipe your finger on that thing, by the way.
There's
hey,
pieces
give the computer
of my kit.
No, I mean, give the computer a little stroke.
I thought you were trying to plug away at something.
I'm gonna figure this drum set right here.
But there's pieces of my kit that I think sound fantastic, and Quentin, as you guys should know if you follow everything at least, he let me
shut.
Yeah, bitches. He let me borrow his snare, and I like that snare with my kit a lot. And it all works out great. And I feel it's weird to me when someone gets into drums and they don't look into heads, because the heads sound so drastically different. I don't even get it. Like, Evans and Remo make multiple heads, but the Evans heads I've always worked out because they were always heavier sounding toms and such. And it's weird that someone would just be like, "Oh, not look into it."
I will say,
Remo is a good.
If there's a brand I don't like, it's Aquarian. Something about them and their logo, I feel like they look like the cheaper brand. This is purely.
They're fantastic though.
They can be.
I don't know.
Not my favorite at all.
I don't know anything about them. This is literally from I'm not a drummer, but I've dealt with drum heads.
I've heard
when Ricardo got his drum set,
great.
I was like, "What are the good drum head brands? What is this?" But just from my base knowledge and looking, I don't have any real knowledge. Just from looking. They're Remo is the one that seems like the fancy brand.
I like Remo.
Evans is the middle ground kind of guy, and then Aquarian. Something about it seems like the.
Yeah, but Aquarian's old school. That's an old school brand right there.
You fucking didn't see that?
Oh,
I noticed now.
We gave each other.
This is why we should be filmed. I literally went this.
Because you can't see it.
Clifford stole my beer, which
that he already stole from me because he didn't even pay for the beer yet.
We were on one beer, and Preston opened it, and Cliff was like, "Oh shit!" And then
if you heard me freak out earlier about that beer,
Cliff grabbed
this is what we call.
He was looking.
This is
right at me. He didn't do anything.
This is what we call the alcoholic struggle.
I didn't even take a sip yet while sharing this.
Over here.
Yeah, Connor needs some too.
Connor's like my diabetes.
I need the beer.
Which, by the way, let's just talk about that for a second so everyone knows.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is
Connor's diabetic.
I felt fucked up finding out this shit. Yeah. That's some weird shit to find out.
I've been known that. The reason it was really scary is because this motherfucker just started profusely sweating out of nowhere on the back porch. It's October today. Today is October. You're not sweating on that first of October.
First? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Time to get spooky, son.
You guys know that song?
No.
Bone Thugs and Harmony?
No, anyway.
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Anyway, it started off these two. Cliff and Preston went outside to go smoke a cigarette, and I thought it was a good idea because I was like, I'll just give them.
They got cigarettes. I'll have the cigarettes.
So,
hey,
I'm trying to take a break from that artificial bullshit.
So I go out there, dude. I'm smoking the cigarette, and it felt so disgusting. And I'm like,
thanks, you faggot.
Sorry, but
wow.
I started sweating so bad, and I thought I was dying. And then that's when Preston found out I'm diabetic. It had nothing to do with that, but I think Cliff gave me a lace cigarette.
Yeah, sorry, that was a crack smoke.
A lace cigarette. Yeah. I like how you sound extra gay about being fucking drugged.
I swear to God, I never was like this. Give me
suck your dick for a thinger.
Give me a fucking
Dude, I went to high school with a girl that sucked her dick for a cigarette.
That's sad.
I feel like you went to an EDM concert where you said you got your dick sucked in a porta potty.
I got my dick sucked in a porta potty.
Was that when you were a telepotty? A Teletubby.
No, I was a Teletubby, and I went to Mystery Land up at Bethel Woods.
And you were like, Tinky Winky, pow!
Dude, they can't get metal shows there, but I can get a blowjob in a porta potty at an EDM show. You know what I mean?
You're a good guy to have for podcasts, just so you know.
Thank you, sir.
For this story alone.
Thank you, sir.
But you have to understand that the Teletubby costume is a one piece. So
I've seen it. I've seen you wear it.
So
I've told you to wear it at times.
But for me to expose my genitals is so hard. You know what I mean? There's not a zipper. I thought about
you can't even maintain the Teletubby illusion, so she's automatically not as interested.
She was stupid. What was her name? Oh, her name.
She's like, "Fuck, you ain't got the thing with the antenna. Why would I want to touch your penis now?"
Yeah.
Cannot sit on the antenna.
Her name
it's
was
not.
Tina, and I don't even know her last name, but that doesn't matter.
It's probably for the best.
Huh?
I miss you.
Probably for the best.
Oh yeah. She probably isn't even from this area.
Where are you?
Swipe and keep in mind that you did not have as good of a microphone to record her shitty name.
Yeah.
You know? So it's best that you got the bass response of the blowjob and not the high-end response of the name.
What?
For recording purposes.
Shut the fuck up. All right, he's cut off. Yeah, you grabbed the wrong one. Enough time for me to slip in. I'm winning the beer battle, guys. Just so you know. I can't wait till you guys get video.
Get a lighter. I'll just light the bottom of this one and get the last of it.
That sounds more like crack.
I'm just freebasing the beer.
Just freebasing.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, but either way, we did talk about.
Do I care?
that.
I hope you care.
I do care to an extent. Which
I care
is why I'm
about
gonna
you.
say
If you actually like us, I care about you.
Connor
Reach
was
out.
at one point talking
Comment.
about how we filmed your drum set with the cymbals and whatever.
Yep.
We did it for a hip hop beat. We talked about that. So the other thing I'm going to say is we did like his entire kit. So we did a 4 mic setup on Connor's complete drum set with the kick, the toms, and his cymbals that he just got, plus the ones he's already pre-made, which is pretty cool. He made kind of his own.
I made my own stack. It's
pretty neat.
I'm a piece of shit when I say that I'm all Sabian right now because it's a filtered china. It's got all the little holes in it and stuff like that. It's actually a Thomas Lang signature china, and I put a bottom 13-inch Sabian B8 on top.
Which is a hi-hat cymbal, right?
It's a hi-hat cymbal, yeah. And just to kind of like give it like that stack kind of sound. I don't use it for much like an open sound. It's just more of like a.
It's like an effect.
It's an effect.
It's an effect.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. You add like these like weird like little things to your rig.
Hey, I'm just gonna put that's one thing is. Yeah, a lot of people.
Nobody thinks about that shit anymore. Like with drums, it's like you have like a ride, you have 2 crashes, and a hi hat, and it's like, but what about?
Right, you have like a lot of those you get a lot of weird cymbals and
I
variations.
talk to you all the time now. Well, at least today, I've been talking to you a lot about cymbals. I look into splashes. I look into like I told you about that weird Zildjian like S shape that like kind of breaks down.
Kind of thing that
Yeah, but it comes down like a funnel or something, and they put that on top of like the trash splash or whatever they call it, and it has this whole new unique sound. It's like effects for drums. I mean, honestly, looking at it as like a guitar player, looking at like a drum kit, it's crazy. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy it. There's all sorts of weird,
which I don't have
different things you can do with it. I don't know, man. Like, I don't even know where I'm going with this, but I like to think about the sound I want and how I'm going to use it and things like that. But like I said before,
just add layering.
People are just like, hey, man, I need a part for this or a symbol for this. I don't care what the fuck it is, but if you're like really into your art and your craft, and
well, it's like earlier,
you
like
investigate and find out which would
like
what you need to
with like the hip hop beat. I mentioned the China just because for whatever reason, like especially like your China, I think is great, which is the it's a Sabian what?
It's an XSR, and that's 18-inch.
And the way it sounds was so great with the snare. I felt for like a hip hop and or rap beat, it would just be.
I thought about that, but
it just had this
before is like
a layering factor. It's like that's why like producers are like a part of the band in a way. Like Metallica wouldn't be Metallica without a producer. Mm-hmm. It was Megadeth or any band that you ever listen to.
Depending, yeah.
Oh, every band except for like the first
I wouldn't
album
say Megadeth
usually
because like the first 3 albums really are just Dave being like, yeah.
Well, Dave is always Dave. Aside from Megadeth, Megadeth, like most bands.
I'm gonna say they have it, but like Metallica, the main example is like by the time they got the Black Album, because before that they didn't like outside input. They're like, you're gonna help us get what we want to sound good on record, and that's your job. And then Bob Rock was like, I'm gonna try to help you restructure your songs, and then James was like, I don't like this. I don't want to do this. Yeah. I don't want what?
That was Rick Rubin.
No, it was Bob Rock. Rick Rubin did fucking what are you? Death Magnetic?
And I thought he came in. I thought he was there for the Black.
He did Death Magnetic.
He wasn't Black?
No, Bob Rock. Bob Rock did Black Album, Load, Reload, Garage Inc., and Saint Anger. Yeah, I got weird deja vu about this whole. We've talked about this stuff before. Like, I swear to God, I got to go back to these old podcasts or ones we didn't post.
No, because I don't remember the Bob Rock thing. This is all new to me.
No, something about me listing off all those albums. I got a really weird. I've been in this basement saying this before. Anyway, sorry. I have issues.
Fucking house. Either way, my whole thing is, as a guitar player, looking at like cymbals in terms of playing a certain effect or adhering to a certain accent in a certain way, it's never been something I even thought about. And then the more I play drums, it's just, I don't know. I feel like more complete as a musician. and I'm very excited to learn more. About
Yeah, that's why I wish I could have. Like, I had that electric kit that got left at my parents' house, but I had no room to set it up. And then Ricardo,
you don't have it now, right?
I gotta ask Ricardo if he still has it. I haven't mentioned it to him.
He's not using it apparently.
No, he's not at all.
Set up in your room with headphones, dude. Trust me. Drums are like the most addicting.
I have no room for that
ever.
in my room.
Even the electric, you can't
No.
like pull it out, set up for like 3 seconds, and play.
You've seen my room.
Yeah, I feel like your throne is your bed. You can't set that up.
That sounds awful.
I
Dude.
think the thing that you guys are going to find that sucks the most about drums, and I say this every single time, you've both heard me say this, is every time I'm loading and lugging all this shit around, I'm like, motherfucker, I should.
Oh, I would never. I'm just gonna say this right now.
So,
Even if I had,
that's why that's staying there until I can come back for it, because I don't feel like.
No. The thing is, even if I, could set up a drum set in my house, I would never be a drummer. I would get competent enough to be able to like, say I'm at my house and I want to record an idea and I want to use real drums, or I want to do something where I feel like I need to use it as a skill to write music. That'd be drumming for me, and I'd probably like only ever go as
Not
far
for
as like
me.
the bare minimum of what I would need to like accomplish that. Because I would never want to try to be a drummer in a band. In a band, that's not what I would want to be.
I love doing it. I
love-
That's what I mean.
need tech.
I
need
fucking
someone
love
that
drums,
can
but
build
something
that shit.
about drums, that's just not a place I feel like.
I don't know, man.
Beyond, like,
I had
writing-
this weird shift.
No, like I said, I could if I was doing it, but
No,
like
I get
right
what
now,
you're saying. I
it's
just have a totally different shift.
no,
Like,
I would love
literally
to have
am
a
just-
better sense of how to play drums, and if I could do drums, and if I need to do drums, I can. I just never would like seek out like, even if I got decent at drums, I don't think I would be like, I'm gonna go be a drummer for a band, because I don't think I would ever get to the level of that anyway.
My
Because
thing
that's
is,
never gonna be.
I
my...
wanted to play drums before I played guitar.
Yeah, I never wanted that. I always
I
was
did,
guitar
and my
and
parents
like vocals,
wouldn't
and
let
that's
me.
it.
And now that I can,
And, like, bass.
I care way more about drums than I ever did about guitar.
Then that's cool.
It's just, it's weird to me because I never had that. Like,
'Cause
I've always been like guitar centered, and now I'm very drum centered, which I think is really cool for my engineering perspective
like,
on things.
not to get in like we're not
Come
old.
from the
We're not
drums.
old, but you're 27.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 27, and you've been playing guitar since you were 12.
Yep.
So like in the last
13
like
years.
not even like 4 months, you've just suddenly been like, oh, drums does a thing for me that I don't know if guitar did, and I kind
No.
of get really
Preston's
into it.
over here looking for floaters on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, where's this fucking beer? You drank it all, didn't you?
Can we, when we finish this up, we're gonna
30%.
take a picture of this table, and we're gonna put this towards this area of the podcast. You can do that much editing at least for a podcast.
Well, where are we at, Connor? Can you tell me like the minute? Should be top left. of
22.
that. 22
23?
minutes.
That's it. Wait,
That's a pretty decent length.
23, 54. We're about to hit 24. But yeah,
Oh, we'll talk
I
about
guess
that.
where I'm
more.
going with this is, as a drummer, for me personally, I take breaks. Like, I can only, like, I'm interested in drums and playing drums and doing all that, and then I get to, like, a certain point. Like, it's normally around, like, wintertime when I'm, like...
you hibernate.
I hibernate, and I'll take a break from the drums, but when I jump back into it, that's when it's like, go.
Well, you come back though fresh, and I get that because like you
Well,
probably take
guitar's
a
like that,
longer
too.
break, whereas like me, honestly, lately I haven't been playing as much on my own. But like it happens where
You
like
get,
you
weird
take a couple,
times, you're like,
yeah,
oh, I
and
like
then it
this
just
amp
hits you,
tone, I
and
like
then you
this
come
sound,
that, or like you just come back to like music in general. Like you just kind of like some people like can sit there every day and they love it that much, and that those are the people who get so good. And it's like
I
that's
was
what
at that
talent.
when I
That's
was,
I
like,
was saying that
young.
earlier. That's what talent is someone who literally loves picking that up every day, and like doing
When I was
everything
young,
they can.
When I was like 12 to like probably 15, 16, like when you and Lou saw me and like Lou
Yeah.
cried like a little bitch,
Of course.
that was like, I literally played every day. I would like from the time of 12 until I got my first guitar was upside down. It's actually,
Well, no,
it was in your videos earlier. That guitar over there, that was my first guitar, the
really?
J Junior or whatever. And it came right-handed. I wanted lefty, so I started to learn upside down. My dad taught me a G chord and an E chord, E minor, and I had a hard time playing both, and they hurt my hand. My dad didn't want to teach
You're
me.
playing it upside down.
Yeah, my dad didn't want to teach me anymore, so he stopped. My guitar got switched around, and I started looking up like guitar tabs, and I had to like teach myself how to read guitar tabs by myself upside down.
Yeah.
And within like 2 weeks, I was playing like Masters of Puppets and shit, like almost up to speed. And my dad,
I still don't exactly believe that. I'm sorry.
it's fine.
Master of Puppets.
It was not up to speed.
I was about to say.
Like I
Also,
said,
my mind's like,
almost
also
up to speed.
speed doesn't matter. Were you downstroking that
Yes.
motherfucker?
I didn't know that.
Up was a thing.
Well, I knew it was a thing, but it sounded to this day. I wouldn't do it for certain things because it sounds wrong to me, and I think it came from that time period. I had like my trainer amp, and I had eventually I got like distortion pedals for it, which didn't help it.
No,
But I have
them.
the amp upstairs, and we're gonna do videos on
Pedals
it.
are long gone, sadly, because I would love to do those. Because those pedals,
I looked into one.
those
I
pedals
found the
have
grunge.
that. No, those old pedals had the 2 outputs. My Bad Monkey has it. The Digitech pedals.
They
you
sell
get,
them.
Yeah,
I found them on Craigslist.
you get a
I found them for like
output that
$25
you would.
each.
Well, no, one of the outputs is like you would like say My Bad Monkey. It's a tube screamer.
Uh-huh.
One is to just run into the amp. The other one is to go to the mixer, and it's got a cab sim on it, and it's supposed to act like you can use it direct into a mixer as an amp. And I can't remember who recently. I think it was
did.
Ola, because he did the death metal and the metal master for Digitech, and they had that direct out thing, and he tried those out too, and he was like, "That's really
they
cool."
sound terrible, but it was cool
I don't
for
think-
back in the day.
I was about to say, for the time period and like him doing it now, like I could totally see like. That's the thing is, we talk about how terrible this stuff sounds, but like relatively, like, the fact of how easy you can create music nowadays and how well you can make it sound in
That's
your
why
fucking
some
bedroom.
people suck at
Yeah.
fucking playing their
But
instrument.
we should probably save
No.
this for another time.
No, because we're onto it now. So
okay.
we have no reason to stop. My thing is, I can get a hold of those pedals because both pedals I had, one was more like a blues, heavier.
You had
driven.
the hot rod and the grunge.
Yeah, and the
I remember.
grunge I could find for like $25. I don't remember the outputs, but we can look into them. And when I first learned guitar, my dad taught me a G and an E minor upside down. I didn't like how it felt. He
Insisted you.
He just kind of like gave up on teaching me. And within like a few weeks, I was playing Master Puppets, roughly up to speed. It wasn't up to speed, but I was down picking.
Enough to where your dad was like, "Oh, my son's playing Master of Puppets."
Everyone who I ever played it in front of knew what I was playing.
That's
And-
cool to learn. It's better than smoke on the water.
I learned that too.
I
'cause
learned
everyone
Iron Man.
does.
Everybody learns that.
Everyone learns that. It's a great first song.
I didn't learn that for a while, considering how long I was playing.
Me too. I learned it way after you think
two
you would.
years in, you were like, I
Yeah.
guess I should do this now.
And you're like, wait,
I did
there's
do
an
Iron
octave
Man.
form?
Yeah, Iron Man and Smoke on the Water seem to be the two.
The other thing was with Smoke on the Water.
And they
was just-
always play them wrong.
I know.
The way you actually play Smoke in the Water is not the way that you would learn it. And Iron Man is
I
also
don't
very
even-
different.
I don't play Iron Man right because I hate playing power chords that high up on the neck.
Like
No,
that opening.
I get that part. That part's fine. And
I know a lot of people
the
can't
main
do that.
riff with the chords is like Iommi plays all of it on the low E.
Yeah. Well, it's
And
spaghetti western, basically what he does.
yeah, I know, but like I hate playing power chords up like, I think it's like the 7th and then it's like the 12th. It goes up too high. I'm like, that's a weird tiny little space. I could do it here. It sounds fucking the same. Usually at the same time though, I usually like playing stuff in the low E. But for some reason with Iron Man, I'm like, I don't really ever plan on playing this much beyond the fact that I know how to play it
Well, everyone
nowadays.
knows it too.
So
Either way, this seems like a long enough podcast to you.
I think so. I think you got enough. These greedy fucks.
You guys play guitar, but still want to jump into the drum world. As soon as you guys talk about guitars, that's
You
when
have
I'm like,
nothing to add in. Tag me out. There's no one to tag.
Yeah, I'm like,
Well, you see, Connor doesn't have enough guitar ratings put into this, so he cannot contribute to the podcast. But
I'm
anyway,
always cool, man.
on that note,
I'm always cool.
on that note, I'd say
swiping that
maybe that's the
computer
end of a
at
ball
Connor.
game tonight. We're talking all over each other. I'm sure this is the best part of the podcast.
I'm always cool with talking about the drum stuff. I'm just not that educated.
You're really bad at that.
realization
I think he really doesn't understand what he's doing to ruin the broadcaster voice.
at 10 o'clock.
Get the fuck out of here. Why are you listening? Go away.
Who's ripping who?
Hit the button.
Someone's getting raped.
Yeah.